I cannot get enough of people giving Barry shit about changing the timeline. How many times have I told you not to do that? I am not in love with the whole not thing. I think that was slang used in the 90s. I'm not too sure. I was too young to remember this. Hey, I want to go do something. Not. Thank God we live in more civilized times. And you want to know what I really appreciated about this episode? Okay, yeah, maybe Joe talking about superheroes in a busy police station isn't the best idea, but you want to know what he did, what other CW superheroes tend to not do? He lowered his fucking voice while talking about secret identities and superheroes. So he automatically gets a gold star in my book. Definitely the best lines of the episode. First, when Iris's panic button goes off and Cisco is trying to explain to Barry why they have that, and he gets exasperated and goes, "Because we were always getting kidnapped?" That was perfect. Also, Cisco's meh to Magenta naming herself. Julian, my god, I think they're trying too hard now to get us not to like him, which means we're probably going to discover some sort of tragic backstory, which will make us feel like assholes in the end for disliking him. But seriously, who yells at someone when you know that they have abilities and can throw a fucking post at someone? Hey, let's not die 101. Don't scream at superpowered beings and get them all fucking worked up, says the person who will likely die first in any type of disaster. Catelyn's talk with Wells was really good, and it makes me think, why aren't you taking your own advice? Why aren't you talking to people that have gone through sort of what you've gone through, having abilities and questioning whether they were for good or evil? I mean, Cisco went through that whole thing in season 1. I feel like she's just delaying, telling them to the point where it's just going to get worse and worse until there's no turning back. And she has to understand that she's not destined to be evil. It's not set in stone. Also, I don't know about you, but I seriously geek out every time we get to see how the Flash perceives time and events around him. So this has been addressed a few times in the comics by different Flashes, and how they perceive time and how time runs to them, and how everything can basically just be almost frozen in place. And actually, other people with speed in other comics have talked about their perception of time or how time runs for them, and how it can actually be maddening. So that scene with Julian and Barry, where it showed us from Barry's point of view how time was flowing, just was so cool, and I want more of those type of scenes. The end when dealing with Magenta, I love superhero teamwork. Solo heroes are great, but watching them help each other and get things done is so much more fun. Flash dealing with Magenta was perfect. He didn't seek to knock her out, but talk with her and get her to stop on her own. The Flash is hopeful and optimistic. While it didn't happen in the comics, it was an animated series, it reminds me of when Batman and Orion were getting down on the Flash about how he handled his villains. They didn't feel he was aggressive enough. The three of them go to a bar to question the trickster, and Batman wants to beat the information out of him. So does the other guy with him. The Flash tells them to back off, and he talks with the trickster, asking him if he's off his meds again and promising to see him in the hospital if he gives them the information they need. The trickster does so, and the trio leaves. As they leave, they ask Flash what he's going to do about the trickster. The Flash turns around and tells the trickster, "Dude, as soon as you finish your drink, turn yourself in." He responds, "Got me again, Flash." And the Flash gives him the most adorable thumbs up. And while this isn't 100% how Barry Allen dealt with all of his enemies, he was a very scientific approach to things that he did. The Flash is supposed to be more optimistic and hopeful and not just punch you in the face. He does punch people in the face, but he's not as aggressive and scary tactics as, say, Batman is. Not that Batman hasn't had a lighter side as well. Oh, and by the way, you can tell by Wally's face when Frankie was talking about her dreams and Alchemy reaching out to her, that Wally, since he is having dreams, thinks this is a sign that he's meant to be a speedster. And those dreams are probably making him want to be a speedster even more. Now that he knows those dreams are an indicator of having power in the other timeline and knowing Dr. Alchemy can give them to you, he's going to try to find Alchemy. I seriously would be surprised if Wally doesn't seek out Dr. Alchemy to try to get powers. End thoughts, Barry and Iris have kissed at least 3 times now on the lips, and there's no timeline reset in sight. So I think this means Barry's getting better. He's admitted he has a problem, he has sponsors. I think he's gonna get through this. Also, I like him dropping Iris off at their little date spot and then being called into work and just leaving her there. I'm sure he went back for her or she found her own transportation. It was still a little bit fun. Me. So those are my thoughts on this episode. I don't think I had a lot to say. I thought it was an enjoyable episode. Wasn't as good as the premiere, but The Flash, to me, is always very consistent in their quality, especially with Season 1 and Season 2, so I expect all of Season 3 to be pretty consistent and all really good episodes. So what did you think? What'd you like? What'd you dislike? Make sure you like this video, subscribe, and come back for more TV reviews every week.